Hello everyone, I'm Sanjay Gupta. I welcome you on Sanjay Gupta Tech School. So, today is day one of this new bootcamp that is based on C and C++ programming languages. So, the idea behind to start this bootcamp, which I already shared with you. So, this bootcamp is generally focused on all the BTech student across the globe, those who are going to join BTech program and want to start their programming journey. So this bootcamp will be helping for them because C and C++ are available in their course curriculum in the first and second semester, right? So these are generally known as the beginning programming languages. So this bootcamp will be helping to those. Then we have non-technical workforce. So those who took non-CSIT branches in the BTech or they somehow want to jump into CSIT industries. So for those non-tech folks, it is very difficult to understand the technical stuff, right? So what I decided to focus or to target those non-tech folks, I will be coming to live on my YouTube channel and will be delivering sessions on C and C++ programming languages on daily basis so that a proper course curriculum will be there and anyone who want to shift from non-technical to technical stream, so they can strengthen their coding fundamentals and they can plan their coding journey in IT industry. And in Salesforce, basically we have Apex programming language, and Apex programming languages if you want to start Apex, learning Apex directly, so it will be very difficult. But if you have core concepts clear in your mind, so in that case, learning Apex would be very much easy for you. So these are the idea behind starting this bootcamp. So I can see lots of people are live and those who will be watching this as recording. So I just welcome everybody on my channel and I appreciate your time. Like you are willing to learn coding fundamentals. And I will be coming live every week, 3 to 4 days, and will be sharing all my knowledge related to C and C++ in very easy way, the way I explained Salesforce Bootcamp, so that you can understand the concepts and start your programming journey. Okay, so with this note, if I show my screen to you, so today we are going to start day one of this bootcamp, and the topic of this bootcamp day one session is we need to understand what C programming is, why it is implemented, and what we can do. And we'll be understanding basic building blocks of programming languages, which are common for most of the programming languages. And we'll be learning how we can write a code in C programming, right? So again, to say like this bootcamp will be focusing on all the BTech students across the globe, those who are in first year, second year, third year, fourth year, or if they are passed out, and all non-technical workforce, those who are planning to learn coding skills. So this will be focusing on them as well. Right now, if I move forward, so if you have joined this bootcamp for the first time, so here you can see you must know like who am I and what I'm doing. So basically right now I'm running my own venture, that is Sanjay Gupta Tech School, and I have worked in various top notch companies like Salesforce, Traction, Aperio, and I have total 16 plus years of experience where I taught programming languages including C and C++ for 10 years in education industry, that too in technical education to BTech, MTech, MCA, BCA students. And from last 6 years, I'm working in IT industry. So currently I'm working as a manager, developer and trainer in IT industry. And along with that, like in my evening time, in my free time, I just share my knowledge with the folks. And soon I'm planning to have some offline boot camps as well. So I'm just having some space constructed. So soon I will be starting offline boot camps as well, and that will be for Jaipur folks only. Okay, so moving forward, if I show you one of my favorite quote, that is consistency. So basically consistency is the key. So with this bootcamp also I want to have a focus on your side, like be consistent. I will be consistent no matter how many students will be live or watching this recording, but I will be coming live as per the schedule, will be sharing my knowledge, and hopefully whoever will be interested in learning coding live totally free of cost, so it will be helping to those. So just join this Telegram group where we will be discussing all the doubts, and whatever doubts you will be having, so you can ask and I will try to help you out. And if someone from that group will be having knowledge about that particular doubt, so they will be helping you as well. Okay, so just follow Sanjay Gupta Tech School on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Telegram. And session tracker link is available in the description of this video. So from there, you can just find everything. But before starting introduction to C programming, I want to have your focus on the session tracker. So here you can see we have a session tracker where everything is designed properly. So don't take this bootcamp for granted. I am doing this bootcamp seriously, and I have taught programming languages to lots of students. So on my YouTube channel, if you see, like from 2016, I started making videos on C and C++ programming. So lots of videos are there. Those I recorded back in like 7 years back, and more than 500 recorded videos are already available on my YouTube channel focusing on C and C++. But still, if you interact someone live, so whatever doubts you will be having, you can discuss. So this is the session tracker which will be like practicing on daily basis. Everything is written over here, and all the session links will be available here. So anytime in future, if someone wants to follow this, they can. And I will be soon preparing an exercise sheet. So maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, you will be having a link here, and it will open exercise sheet. So you can go through that exercise sheet, and you can practice on daily basis. Okay, so now moving forward, so let's talk about something technical now. So first of all, we just need to understand like what C programming is and who implemented it. So C was basically developed by Dennis Ritchie in 1970s at AT&T Bell Lab, and which is established in USA. So this is straightforward. This like if you are a student, you're watching is this bootcamp as part of your BTech curriculum, and you want to learn it to write some question. So you just need to remember who developed C and in which year or where. Then next thing is important, like C is basically high level language, but it also supports low level language features. So it can be called as middle level language. Nowadays, most of the languages which we use are high level languages. So we do programming in English. We don't need to write any assembly or binary code. So whatever code we write, it will be converted into binary automatically. That is taken care by the interface, which is known as compiler or interpreter, whatever language you are using, right? So C can be called as middle level. In C, you can write high level code as well as you can write low level instructions, right? Now, next point is C is case sensitive language. So this is important. If you are learning any programming language, so you should know about case sensitive nature. So what is case sensitive? Case sensitive means if you want to write something in uppercase in programming, so it should be written in uppercase. If something should be written in lowercase, so it should be written in lowercase, right? So some programming languages are case sensitive. C is one of them. And some programming languages are case insensitive. So if we talk about HTML, if we talk about Apex, so these are case insensitive languages. In these two languages, if you write code in uppercase, lowercase, so that doesn't matter. It will be treated as is, right? But in C, C++, Java, JavaScript, uppercase and lowercase matters, right? So what you need to do, whatever code you are writing, so you need to take care whether you need to write something in uppercase or in lowercase, right? If I relate case sensitivity with real life example, so whenever we use any username as email ID, so if you type any email ID as username, so that is basically case insensitive. You can write it in uppercase as well as in lowercase, right? But if we focus on our passwords, so passwords are case sensitive. Whatever password you define, so you, if you have created it in uppercase or lowercase or in mixed format, so in the same format you need to type your password, right? So passwords are case sensitive and email IDs or usernames are case insensitives. Okay, so this is important to know because it is related to each and every programming language. And last point related to C is, like, C is function oriented language. So in most of the programming language, whenever you write code, so you need to implement lots of functions. So if someone here from Salesforce background and they are trying to learn Apex programming, so there also we need to implement lots of functions, right? So in C, basically you will be learning how we can write functions, what are the basic building blocks of functions, right? So I will be explaining you in detail like how you can write the functions. So C is basically function oriented programming language, whereas C++ is object oriented programming language. And if we talk about Java and Apex, so those are also object oriented programming language. But initially there were only function oriented programming languages, but later object oriented programming languages became popular. So if you directly learn object oriented programming language, so it will be difficult. If you learn C as a function oriented language in the beginning, so it will be easy for you to focus on the logic building. And then once you are pro as a logic builder, then you can jump to any object oriented programming language and you can learn about how to write classes, inside class, how we can write method. So in object oriented approach, implementation is little bit different, but in function oriented language, implementation is little bit easy. So here we will be learning logic building, and in object oriented language we'll be learning how we can write classes and objects and all things. Okay, so this is again important for the beginners, those who are in colleges right now. So why C? So C was basically developed to implement system and application softwares. So lots of system and application softwares are implemented in C programming, and one operating system which is popular, Unix. Unix is also implemented in C programming. So like lots of softwares are there, those are implemented with the help of C programming, and it is not outdated in this time, like in year 2023 also, like in the back end, in the system design, we use C and C++ programming. And there are vacancies for these C and C++ developers. And in C, we can do embedded programming as well. So if you belongs to electronics or electrical side, so if you want to connect your machine, so there also we somehow use C programming, right? So it is still in use. And C is based for advanced languages like C++, PHP, Java, C Sharp. And if you learn these languages, then like learning Apex is very much easy. And C is basically used to solve mathematical calculations as well. So in this bootcamp, we'll be doing lots of mathematical calculations with the help of C programming. Okay, now we need to talk about what are features of C programming. So here you can see lots of features you will find in different programming languages as well. So if you are from Salesforce ecosystem and you are struggling with Apex programming, so here you can see you will be learning about data types, operators, keywords, variables, control statement like how to write if else, switch, how to write iterative statements like loop, for, while, do while, then what is collection like array, string, structure, right? So everything we'll be understanding here. Then at right bottom you can see we have functions. So all the basic building blocks, those are required to learn a programming language. We will be understanding those with the help of C programming. And those who are beginner, those who are in their BTech and they are trying to start their programming journey, so this bootcamp will be helping for them as well. So I will be explaining each and everything like to the one who doesn't know anything about the programming, right? So it will be focusing on all the BTech students starting their first year, and will be focusing on all the non-tech folks, those who want to try to switch to IT industry but struggling to understand the basic concepts of programming. So you can see all these topics we'll be discussing day by day in the bootcamp. Now, one more thing that you need to understand, like what all character sets we can use in a programming language. So these are common for most of the programming languages. So you will be using combination of uppercase, lowercase, which are alphabets. Then you will be using digits. So digits are from 0 to 9. And we have lots of special symbols. So on keyboard, other than alphabets or digits, whatever symbols you see, those are considered as special symbols. So in programming, like if you want to write any code, so you can write any special symbol in the code, but it should be as per the syntax, right? It should be as per the syntax of that programming language. So those who are new to programming and doesn't know about syntax, so syntax is something which tells you the rules of programming language, right? So if you want to follow the rules of programming language, so you need to follow the syntax. So syntax means rules of a programming language. So as per the rules, you can use alphabets, digits, and special symbols. Now, one more term that is popular in programming languages, so it is basically known as constants. So basically a constant is a quantity which doesn't change during execution of a program, right? So if you want to use any value as a constant, so there are different type of constants available. So you can see integer, like if you want to use a number, so what you can do, you can simply write 5, 0, -6, so it will be treated as a constant. Then we have real or floating point, like if you want to use a value in decimal point, so 2.5 -5.7, so these type of values you can use as a real or floating point constant. In Apex programming, these are basically known as decimal values, right? So we have a data type decimal in Apex, but here in C programming, we will be using a data type as float, right? So we have float, double, these data types are available. Then we have characters. So if you have a single character and you want to use that single character as a constant, so you can enclose this in single quotes. And if you have more than one character, so you just need to enclose them in double quotes, and those will be known as string. So strings are available in almost each programming language. Somewhere these are enclosed in double quotes, somewhere these are enclosed in single quotes. So if we talk about Apex programming, so these are enclosed in single quotes. But if we talk about C, C++, Java, so these are enclosed in double quotes. Yeah, so I can read the message of Dushyant. Dushyant is saying also for BCA student. Yeah, so I can see lots of folks are from BCA background here. Yeah, so BCA, MCA, BTech, and non-technical folks, everybody needs to understand basic building blocks of programming. So like this bootcamp will be helping everybody directly or indirectly. So my request would be, like, if you come across with a person who is struggling to understand code, so just share this information with them, because I am doing this bootcamp for free of cost and will be teaching everything live for 3 to 4 months. And sessions are planned in such a way so that every day you can learn something new and you can practice as well, right? So next topic is variables. Variable is also important if you are learning programming for the first time. So in last slide, I explained you about constant. So constant and variable you can relate with mathematics as well. So if we talk about mathematics, so in mathematics we have constant values, right? You have numbers, you can directly write them. So we write like let x equals to 10. So x equals to 10 means like 10 will be constant and x will be considered as a variable. So in programming also we have a variables. So a variable basically holds a constant value. Variable can change its value during execution of the program, and a variable occupies some memory space according to its data type to store constant value. So in computer we have a memory, and if you want to occupy that memory, so you need to create a variable for that. So in each programming language we have both constants as well as variables. Constants are having fixed values, those you need to use as is directly, and those constants you will be storing in a variable, and that variable will be having a data type, and in that variable you can store that constant value in computer memory. Okay, now there are some rules to declare variable names. So it is available for almost all the programming languages, so you need to apply certain rules. So a variable name can contain only alphabets, digits, or underscore. It must start with an alphabet or underscore. It cannot contain blank spaces. So whenever you are writing a variable name, so you cannot specify a blank space. If you want to put some space in between so that it will be readable, so instead of space you can use underscore. And it should not be a keyword. So in next slide I will be talking about keywords. So keywords are the reserved words, those are available in programming language. So in C programming also we have some keywords which are reserved words, and variable names are case sensitive. So this I already explained you. So if you have something in uppercase defined, so throughout the program you will be using that in uppercase only. And if something is in lowercase, so you need to use that in lowercase only. So we have some keywords. So keywords are basically known as reserved words. Keywords are already defined with C compiler. So here we have a new word, that is compiler. So basically compiler is a software which converts your high level code into low level code. So high level means whatever code you have written in English, and low level code means binary. So whatever code you write, if you want to convert that into binary, so for that purpose we need to use C compiler. And compiler knows the meaning of keywords, so these are defined already, and there are total 32 keywords in C. And if you are learning Java, C++, Apex, so everywhere in every programming language you will find some keywords, and all those keywords are predefined. So you cannot use those keywords as a variable name, method name, because their meaning is already defined. So this is a list of keywords, those are available. And if you already know C++, Java, Apex little bit, so you can relate these keywords you might have used in those programming languages as well, right? And if you are learning coding for the first time, and you doesn't know about any programming language, so you can just go through with these names. So in any of the session we'll be using a few of keywords from this, and today I will be explaining one example. So there also we will be using a couple of keywords. Okay, so moving forward, next is instruction. So we discussed about C character set, we discussed about constants, we discussed about variables, we discussed about keywords. Now if we combine them, and we need to write a complete statement. So in C programming, basically an instruction is a C statement which is implemented to perform a particular task, right? So it is true with all the programming languages. So in all programming languages we need to write some statements, and those statements are basically considered as instructions. So we have different type of instructions, like if you are creating a variable, so that will be known as variable declaration instruction. If you are receiving some value as an input, or if you are sending any value as an output, so those will be known as input and output instructions. Then we have arithmetic instructions, like if you want to do some calculation, so that you can do with the help of arithmetic instruction. Then we have control flow instructions. So basically control flow instructions are those instructions where we generally implement if else, we implement loop, or we implement switch. So if you have some control over instructions, like how many instructions will be executed, how many times it will be executed, so those will be coming under control flow instructions. And these control flow instructions are available with almost each programming languages. So we have if else, we have for loop, while loop. So these are available with different programming languages. So here in C programming, we will be deep diving with all the topics in detail so that I will help you to understand how we can implement the logic. So moving forward after instruction, so just understand the sequence. First we understood the character set, single element, alphabet, digit and spatial symbol. Then we focused on constant, variable, keywords. Then we talked about instructions, like by collection of those things we can create single instructions. Now let's talk about a program. So a program is a collection of one or more than one related instructions which are implemented to perform a particular task. Or you can say a program is a collection of, a program is also known as collection of more than one user defined functions through which a particular task can be performed. So in a program you can have many functions. In a program you can have many functions, and in Java and Apex we call functions as methods. So if you have implemented basics of Java and Apex, so you might have written classes. So in those classes we write methods, right? So in C programming also you need to write methods, but in C programming we don't have any class concepts. So we will be writing methods directly. You need to create a block, and in that block you can directly write any piece of code. Okay, so this is about a program. So program is basically a collection of instructions, right? So after this too much theoretical discussion, now we have our first C program in front of you. So before writing this on a online compiler, I just want to take a pause and want to ask if you have any question. Whatever discussions I have made, whatever knowledge I have shared so far, if you have any kind of question in your mind related to C programming or any other thing, you can just post your query in the chat, and I will take your question and will try to answer it. If there is no question, then I will be moving on to this program, and will be implementing this with the help of online compiler. So you don't need to install any software in your system. You can just leverage any online compiler. So if you want to do practice in mobile phone, so C programs you can implement in your mobile phone as well. So you can just search for any application where you can type code, or you can open Google and search for online C compiler, and there also you can just do some coding. So I'm just waiting for a few questions if you have, otherwise we'll be moving forward. Till the time I am waiting for the question, so I'm just jumping to the browser, and here I have already opened one compiler. So it is onlinegdb.com. So if I go back, so I just search for online C compiler, right? If I search this on Google, so you will be having a list of compilers. So you can open any compiler. Lots of websites are having C compilers. So you can open any online compiler, and where you will be able to implement the code, right? So what I did, I opened this one online C compiler, and I just hide that part, and here I can write the code. If you want to remove this part, so you can, so that you will be having a neat and clear screen where you can type the code. So Samad, you are asking to transfer this program in Apex as well. So Apex is basically object-oriented programming. So whenever we will be understanding C++, then surely I can relate it with Apex. You will be better understanding the concept. So initial 20-25 sessions will be totally focused on C programming. So whenever you are learning about C programming, so just focus on how you can build the logic. Just forget about any other programming language and focus how you can learn the programming concepts, right? So I will be focusing on those only in C programming part. When we'll be jumping on C++, then maybe I can relate it with Java or Apex. So I will be like relating it with Apex, because our end goal is to reach to Salesforce ecosystem, because Salesforce ecosystem is growing day by day and lots of job opportunities are there. So if you have proper programming knowledge, if you have proper cloud knowledge, so you can make a successful career in Salesforce ecosystem. So that's why, like I already told you the idea. First target is student, BTech student, and the second target is non-tech folks who want to make their career in Salesforce ecosystem. So for these two people, I am doing this bootcamp, BTech students and non-technical folks. And Akshay is saying thanks, sir, for your support. So I appreciate Akshay, your kind words. And yeah, so I hope I am able to answer Sampath. So he's saying thank you. So I think he's good. Okay, so now this compiler is available with you. So here you will be writing the code, no class, no object, just create a method and write the logic. So we need to understand the logical part, how we can implement if else, how we can implement loop, right? So all those things we'll be implementing here together. So I'm with you, and I won't say like go and study. I always say come and study with me. So I'm coming live twice a day. So one, I am teaching C and C++, and in another bootcamp I am teaching Salesforce, right? And lot more bootcamp are planned, and we decided like we'll be sharing more knowledge. So I have more team members, so they will be sharing knowledge with you as well. Okay, so now let's jump on to this program. So here you can see we have a title which says calculate sum of two numbers. Okay, calculate sum of two numbers. So this is our requirement. We need to have two numbers and we need to add them. Okay, so I'm not going to explain this here. Instead, I will be implementing it here. So whenever you will be opening any online compiler, so few lines you will be having automatically. So basically in every programming language, we have a library. In every programming language, we have a library where some predefined methods are available. So you might have heard about Python. Python has a rich library. In Apex also we have predefined methods, classes. In C++, Java also. So similarly in C programming also we have something pre-implemented, right? So all the definition is pre-implemented. We just need to use those functions. So here you can see we have hash include stdio.h, right? So basically what it is. So here you can understand the description. So it is very much important if you are a BTech or BCA student. If you are in BTech or BCA first year and C programming is part of your curriculum and you are watching this live or recording, so this will be helping for you. So and those who are from non-technical background and they are relating it with any other programming language. So we have lots of things pre-implemented, right? If you want to have that in your code, so in C programming you need to use hash include. So it is basically known as preprocessor directive, which basically includes header files in the program. Now we need to understand what are header files. So here we have one example, that is stdio.h. So stdio.h is basically a header file and it stands for standard input output, right? So all the input output related functions are already defined in this header file. Okay, so in some of the programming languages we have some predefined classes where predefined methods are available. So those languages which are object oriented, they have predefined classes. In C programming we have header files, those are already defined and we just need to use the methods which are available in them. And at first line you can see we have a notation for comment. So we have slash asterisk, then you can write some code and then asterisk and slash. So these are the comments that you can use in C programming. Okay, so after this header file, then we have main. So remember in C programming, whatever code you want to execute, you can write in between main function. So this main is a function, right? So this main is a function. So here we can write comment with double slash as well. So this is common for most of the programming languages, right? So you can use double slash as well. So main is basically a function. Then this is a printf statement which will display some results on the output screen. So if I relate it with other programming languages, so in C++ it is like cout, in Java it is system.out.println. If we talk about Apex, so we have system.debug. In C programming we have printf, right? So if you want to throw some output, so you can use printf. Now, what is main? So it is basically a user defined function, and it is compulsory to use this function in every C program because execution of the program begins with main. So in C programming, if you want to run anything, you will be implementing it inside main function. Then we have some data types, so these we'll be discussing later. Let's talk about printf. So it is predefined function, it displays some text on console. We'll be using scanf, it is also predefined function, it reads values from console. So for printf and scanf, we basically included stdio.h. So if you want to use printf scanf, in that case you need to include this header file stdio.h. And if you want to include this header file, in that case you need to write #include in your code. Okay, so I think lots of things are cleared now, and our requirement was we need to calculate sum of two numbers. So we need to enter two numbers and we need to add them, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to solve it here. So before reading something from user, what I'm going to do, I'm just storing some values here only. So here int is data type, and A, B, C are variables. So we already discussed about variables. Variables will be holding the constant values, and here you can see we have A equals to 10, B equals to 10, and C. So A, B, C, these are variables, and int is basically a data type, and 10, or here I'm writing 20. So 10 and 20, these are constant values. So I'm writing that as well. So 10 and 20 are constants, right? So this way I hope you are able to relate what is happening here. Now we need to perform addition operation. So I can write C equals to A plus B. And then if you want to show the result, you will be using printf. Now double quotes, you can write sum equals to. Now here we use one more thing that is known as format specifier, right? So in C programming, you need to write it, but in other programming languages, we don't use it because we already have data types. So in other programming languages, we didn't follow this approach, right? So what is happening here? %d is basically format specifier. Okay, it is written over this slide, so you can understand this term. And D here stands for decimal, and it is for integer. If you are using any other data type, like you are using float, so in that case you will be using %f here. So this is important for them who are learning programming for the first time, right? So you will be using %d if you are using int, and if you are using any other data type, so accordingly it will change. Okay, so the code is written in front of you. Now if you want to execute it, so just click on run. Here you can see green button is available, so I'm clicking on that, and at the bottom you can see we have a result, sum equals to 30, right? So I just provided two values, 10 and 20, into A and B, and basis on that addition is happening and result is displayed, right? Now if you want to receive some values from user, so how you can do that in C programming? So you can write printf this way and then scanf. So in C programming, if you want to receive some value, so you will be using scanf, and this way you will be storing the values. So first number will go into A, and second number will go into B, and this % symbol is known as address of, right? So whatever variable A, B you have created, so they are available in your memory, and they are having some address, memory address. So those memory address we need to define in scanf only. And here we are using %d 2 times. So %d is basically focusing on integer. So we need to receive two integers. That's why we are using 2 times %d. So this printf is showing enter two numbers. Then we need to provide two different numbers. Those two numbers will be added and the result will be stored in C. And we are going to display C as an output. Okay, so I am just clicking on run again. So here you can see we need to enter two numbers. So I am entering 20 as first number, then I pressed enter key. Then I am entering 40 as second number. Again I am pressing enter key, and you can see sum is 60. Right, so this way I am able to enter some values, and basis on that result is coming up. So this way I hope you understood how we can write a C program, and we can do the calculations. So all the basic things, basic fundamentals I explained to you, and the same program we can write in C++, Java, Python, PHP, Apex, anywhere we can write, and few things will change, but the logical part will be same. Okay, so I hope everybody understood this. Now moving forward, we have some exercises. So I'm going to explain a few of them. So I will be explaining second one, calculate area and perimeter of rectangle, and rest you can try at your own. If you are good with Apex, so you can try these in Apex as well. And if you want to understand like programming only, you want to focus on the fundamentals, so you can go with C programming as well. Okay, and if you are a beginner, BTech, BCA student, then anyhow you need to implement all these practice work in C programming only, right? So and soon I will be creating an exercise sheet also. So I already have some recorded videos, so those I will be putting for your reference purpose also, and you will be able to leverage that sheet as well. So I'm going to implement the solution for calculate area and perimeter of rectangle. Okay, so we'll be having two different logic. So first of all, I am going to use float as a data type. So I have L and B, length and breadth. Then I need to calculate area and perimeter. So I created four variables, L, B, A and P. Okay, now what I need to do, okay, there is a question. So there is a question Mahima is asking when we should use semicolon. So Mahima, answer to your question is whenever you are writing any statement and you want to end it, so at that time we need to use a semicolon statement. Okay, so I hope this answers your question. So I'm repeating it again. If you write any statement and if you want to end it, so you will be using semicolon. If you see main, so in main we have curly braces. That's why we didn't use semicolon, because it is having a block. Okay, so inside main curly braces, if you write something, so every statement you will be ending with the semicolon. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to read two values, length and breadth. So enter length and breadth. Now you might be thinking why we use this \n. So basically it is a new line character. If I take you back, so at the bottom you can see \n is basically new line character. So if you want to show this text, which is in green, in new line, so you can start \n here. Okay, so if you want to bring your cursor in the new line, so every time you will be using \n, and you can use \n anywhere in your printf statement. Then we need to use scanf. Now data type is float, so here we will be using %f, then %l comma %b, length and breadth, right? So this way we performed reading operation. Now we need to apply the logic. So we need to calculate area. So area equals to length into breadth. So this way we performed some calculation. Now we need to calculate perimeter. So perimeter is 2 into L plus B, right? And in mathematics we generally write 2 and then parenthesis. We don't write multiplication sign, but in programming you need to write this multiplication sign. In programming you will be writing this multiplication sign, otherwise it will be an error. So this way you will be writing the instructions. And if you want to perform this plus operation first, so you will be in area equals to %f and then a, then printf perimeter equals to %f and then p. So this way, with the help of two different printf, you can show the results. Now you might be thinking, can we do it with single printf? So my answer will be yes, we can. We can do it with single printf statement as well. But first I'm going to execute this code, and then I will be rewriting both the statement in a single printf. Okay, so now I'm going to run this code. So here you can see the complete code is written. I'm just clicking on run. So at the bottom you can see it is asking for length and breadth, right? So length I am entering 4 and breadth I am entering 6. So here you can see the result. So as we used float as a data type, so results are coming in points. So in other programming languages it can be treated as different name. Like if you talk about Apex, so it will be used as decimal. We have a data type decimal, so we use that. So in different programming languages for decimal point values, you can have different data type. Okay, so this way area and perimeter both are displayed. Right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how we can combine these together. So I'm making them a comment, and I'm going to write them again. So here I'm writing area equals to %f, then again \n, perimeter equals to %f, and then a comma p. So this way you can write a single printf statement. And this is important for other programming languages as well. In Java, Apex also we can display more than one values together with a single printing statement. So in C programming it is written like this. So this %f will be having value from A, and the second %f will be having value from P. And first \n will shift area to new line, and second \n will shift perimeter to new line. So you can write \n anywhere in the printf statement, right? So if I run this code, so you will see the same results. So again I am entering same values, and you will see the same result. Area equals to and perimeter equals to. Right, so this way you can implement some logic, and you can start your programming journey. And here practice questions are available. So just implement all the questions, and this way you will be able to understand the programming. And if you are BTech or BCA beginner, so I bet this bootcamp will be very much important for you, right? Because I will be teaching everything in detail. So you can see this session tracker, and session tracker link one more time I'm sharing in the chat, so you can have it. And here everything is written. So my all bootcamp, whatever bootcamp Sanjay Gupta Tech School will be hosting, all will be available here. So if you go to the tabs, if you want to learn Salesforce, so all the sessions are available here. Like for Salesforce, I have done 71 sessions live throughout this year. So I started from January until June. These many sessions are happened, and a few sessions happened for cybersecurity. So due to some reasons, Sumit is not available right now. So we are planning to do more sessions on cybersecurity later on. And what we experienced, like this will be fruitful if we do it on offline mode, because cybersecurity is very technical. So we are planning some offline boot camps for this, for Jaipur folks. and soon we'll be starting more boot camps like based on data science, AI, based on DevOps. So those will be available under these tabs in future. So there is a question Abhiram is asking why I used float as a data type. So Abhiram, basically when we talk about length and breadth of rectangle, so there may be chances those length and breadth will be in decimal point. So that's why I used float. If you think your values will be in integer format, so in place of float, you can write int as well. So this int data type you can use here for these variables. And if you use int, so you just need to convert these %f into %d everywhere. So this way you can use int data type as well, but float will go well because there can be chances like you are entering length and breadth in decimal point. So that's why we used this data type. Okay, so this is all about for today. So it was day one. I just gave you some introduction on how we can write or program in C programming. So I hope it will help you. And day by day, week by week, lots of sessions will be happening. So my request to you, whoever are online live and those who are watching the recording, please share this bootcamp link with the students, those who are planning to do BTech or BCA or MCA or already doing BTech, BCA, MCA. So for them, this bootcamp will be for like their life savior, because I'm teaching C and C++ from very beginning, explaining everything in detail, and they will be learning everything free of cost live. And lots of resources are already available on my channel. So I'm creating an exercise sheet, so I will be having those links together there. And please share this bootcamp link with all non-tech folks, those who are planning to jump into IT, so that they can try to learn programming at least once. And they don't need to pay any amount to anyone. They just need to understand the concepts, and if they are able to understand, so no matter they will be able to make their successful career in IT, right? So I'm just doing my bit. You also need to do your efforts, learning efforts, because if you are doing some learning efforts, then surely you can make a successful career in either IT or Salesforce ecosystem. Okay, there is one question. Int is integer mean whole number without any dot value. Yes, Faizan, you are right. Rupal, yes, today I didn't take Salesforce session. So if you see Telegram channel, so there I already posted, and I just want to share that Telegram channel link here as well, because all the notifications I am sharing in that channel. So if you are not part of this channel, so do join this. Here all the notifications, like when session will be happening or when not. So all the information I am sharing. So Rupal, sessions will be happening tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be having two sessions, one for Salesforce and one for C programming. And in Salesforce Bootcamp tomorrow, I will be teaching JavaScript basics. Okay, so this is it for today. And as you can see, one statement is written in this slide. Please share a review or feedback about the bootcamp. Whatever bootcamp you are joining under Sanjay Gupta Tech School. So do share a review, feedback on YouTube, LinkedIn, or any other platform, wherever you want to make this platform popular. So do share the bootcamp information. So this is all for today. Thank you so much for joining this session, and I hope together we'll do lots of things. So I'm here to share my knowledge, to give you insights, and I hope with this initiative you will be able to understand coding well, and you will be able to change your life as well. So with this note, thank you everybody. See you tomorrow in two different boot camps. Bye. Take care.